And this guy rears back and punches the window like right at Jeremiah's head as hard as he could and screaming.
When I say he punched harder than I've ever seen anybody punch anything.
Oh, it scared me so
It
bad.
was so loud. I don't know how the window didn't shatter.
I don't know how.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green Podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I'm super excited to come to you today with another fresh new Marriage Monday for you. Super excited to be with you here this week. We have episode 84 or 85, I believe. I got a little ahead of myself last week. I was taking guesses, and I guessed up to 90, I think. But that is not where we're at. And you can hear in the background there, we're joined again. Savannah's back on the show. She missed us last week, was out of town, so we have a lot of catching up and filling in to do.
Yes, I forgot about that. Like, I wasn't even here last week.
Correct. I had to roll solo. We talked about a lot.
Everyone.
I pretty much bashed you on the show the whole time.
Sounds about right.
Have you listened to it yet?
No, I'm scared to now.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Sure.
But no, I told everybody how much I loved you. That's what the show really was.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to just listen and see.
Yeah. I mean, you will. That's just part of it. But today, what is the agenda? We don't really have an agenda. We never have an agenda with these shows.
True.
Catch us up to where you've been this week. We had, oh man, Jack got sick.
Yeah, I don't even know where I've been this week. I had a whirlwind of a couple weeks. I worked a good bit. Took Jack on my first solo trip with him. Wasn't totally solo. I mean, I was with a friend, but Jeremiah did not go with us. So we went to Orlando for a few days, drove, which for us is an adventure. Jack's never been in the car that long. So did that for a few days, got home, threw clothes in the wash, repacked a bag, left the next morning for Savannah, Georgia for a bachelorette trip for one of my good friends from work, and was there for a few days, came home Monday. You had to immediately go back to work, and then Thursday, Jack got the stomach virus, so we're just working through it. It's been a crazy couple weeks, just back and forth and traveling, and it got so, that was the other thing, came home to temperatures
so
in the teens, which, pretty much shuts the whole state of Alabama down. Because it did rain, it got a little icy, all that fun stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. I went to the LCR Summit this week, which was awesome, over in Atlanta, Georgia. Had a good time there. Got to meet a lot of people, and
that happened too. I forgot. Yeah, we got home. I watched stuff. We had one dinner, and then you got ready to go out of town, and Jack got sick while you were out of town. It's been a hectic.
Yeah, we were out of town, and that's when Jack got sick, and so it was a little rough, but it was good. The event was great. We got to meet a lot of people, hang out, network, grow relationships there. That's what the whole thing was for. So learned a lot of tips and things to help grow our businesses moving forward, which is what we're always trying to do here on the show and what we're trying to put out to the audience. And so we really appreciate you tuning in and following with us. But Jack got a little bug. That was nasty. That's the second time Jack's gotten sick.
Yeah.
Like that.
Ever in his life. Yeah.
But it was
not a fun time.
No, it was not a fun time. I ended up driving home middle of the night.
Well, I was
Thursday
at work
night.
when it happened. It was just not a good situation. I had to work a later shift than I normally do. So my mom had him, and we just were like, oh, maybe it's just, kid being weird. And then to not be graphic, it just persisted to where we knew this wasn't just him being thrown around a little too much. So, you ended up coming home for the night because I just didn't know. It just kept escalating, and then he had a fever. It was just weird and a little more than.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going to happen, and so I came home, and then it ended up being fine.
And Atlanta's not far from us, really, truly at all. And
it's easy to say when you're not driving it.
I know. I have driven it several times recently.
Yeah, recently, both have. Yeah.
But in hindsight, and then on the grand scheme of things, it's not very far. So it's not like you were states and states away, and you just came home in the middle of the night. So.
Yeah, no, it's 2.5 hours. I think it wasn't bad. So. Yeah. Good to be home and just make sure everything was good around here, and got back over to Atlanta mid-morning on Friday, and then was there the rest of the day and into Saturday. So great time there, and we got a lot coming up. We got a lot moving on here in the next couple of weeks.
Weren't we talking, and we have no
more free weekends.
No weekends until March or something.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, we have. What we had LCR Summit this weekend. Next weekend you have a women's conference for church. Mm-hmm. The week after that is, what is that? Oh, that's the birthday party.
Yes, that's John Paul's
for friends.
birthday.
And then
There's something else. My friend's, bridal tea. The wedding I'm in has some stuff going on. And then what's the next weekend after that?
We have
Florida.
We go to town
Florida
that weekend.
for a couple weekends, and then you've got Lawn Care.
Then we got Lawn Care Life. So Lawn Care Life, February 23rd and 24th in Springville. If you want to come check it out and hang out there, it'll be a great time. I think you can go to the lawncarelife.com under events and snag some tickets to that. A lot of great speakers there. I'll be on a panel, I believe. I think I finally figured out what I'm doing. I'm on a panel with, I think, Pajak and the Almonds. So that will be a good time, getting to just meet some people and hang out there. A lot of local friends and people around our area will be able to come and hang out, which will be good. Hopefully even grow some new relationships here at home. So that's kind of the rundown of what we had going on this week here on the home front. But what I wanted to kind of hop into do, we're just going to do like a little Q&A, like a weird, not weird, but it's one that I feel like we've never done. I just got some random questions that I want us to like talk through and ask.
Like what kind of questions?
Just random marriage questions. Things that
serious questions?
Some of them are kind of serious. Some of them are funny, but it's just things that you don't really think about in your everyday life. And I was like, I just want to find I want to find a few questions that really that married couples can relate to and really think about, because even though they're not super serious, that some of these are going to be questions that make us like think about things that we don't usually think about, just like how we've changed each other, things like that. So let's see, what is the first one to be? The first one I think I want to go with is, what are the biggest lessons you've learned from your partner?
Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind is to not take everything too seriously. And the second thing I would say is that I don't really know how to put this into words, but something along the lines of like, it's okay to not have everything figured out, like, before moving forward. Because I think that's something I struggled with, and that's something that you're, I don't know the right term, like you're pretty good about, which doesn't always sound like a good thing, but that's something I needed to learn. Like, I don't have to always have all of my ducks in a row and my I's dotted and T's crossed before, moving forward. Not promoting that you shouldn't, but it's not always absolutely necessary.
Yeah, you have to take risk in business. You have to take risk in life, and that's just part of the journey that we're on. And so you're not always going to have everything ironed out for you. Yeah. Man, I don't know what mine would be. The biggest thing I've learned, I would say nothing. I don't know. What do you think? I mean,
I don't know. I answered.
Mine would be probably like there's benefit to like having a clean workspace. That's pretty good.
In our 7 years together, I've taught you that there's
this
benefit
is
to having
crazy.
an organized
This is not the spouse that I married. Savannah was not a clean person in high school. Your room was like every other teenage girl's room ever. Who
was a clean person in high school?
The second we get married and have our own house, she becomes tyrant Savannah.
I run a tight ship around here.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's got to be clean. Everything's got to be in order, and
everything goes where it goes for a reason. And if it doesn't have a spot, it goes.
There's benefit to that. There's benefit to being organized like that. I feel like you can be more productive. You don't get like as turned around in your stuff. So, that's something that I've learned along the way.
I'm so honored.
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean,
that's what I've taught you.
That's good.
Have you learned it?
If we flip the camera around and shut the office, I would say people would agree with me.
Don't you dare flip the camera around.
I mean, it's pretty clean to me. I don't know what you're talking about. So,
okay, clearly you've not learned it, but that's okay.
No, I would say that's a big one, and I'm just trying to think of like the best. I mean, there's so many roads you can take that answer. I probably should have thought it through better before I asked it.
I was about to say, you picked this question. Something else I've learned from you is just like how to be more generous and like kind with my time, honestly with anything. I think something that I've always like dealt with as part of my like anxiousness about like, hoarding of stuff that's not always my first response, and it is yours. Like your first response is always to like to give or be generous or with with whatever it is, not necessarily even money, like with your time. Like you see somebody on the side of the road, like your first instinct is to stop and help. So it's just like it's slowly changed my view or how I would, do things, my response to situations as well, which is obviously a very good thing.
Yeah, that is one thing that I like. We had this conversation a lot this weekend, just like the ability to give. It's just like ingrained in me. I don't know why. It's just the way I was raised, I guess. I don't even know that. I mean, the way I was raised, but then also just like it's just who I am on the inside. I don't know. I enjoy that's like a love language for me.
Yeah.
Almost like giving is just like something that I enjoy doing. So, and it's not necessarily giving gifts. Like
no,
I don't really like giving gifts
of your time, of your energy, like of your efforts. Even if it is, sometimes it is money, but like So yeah, that's another one. I filled in for you there.
That's good. Well, I'm still thinking, so we'll circle back.
Sure.
We'll circle back at the end. No, I would say another thing that we've learned and kind of implemented over the last couple of years is following a budget better. You
didn't learn that from me.
Usually it's not following it, but creating it. Not necessarily following it. Being a little more hesitant in spending, I think, is a better way to put it.
Just prioritizing saving money.
Yeah, I mean, most women are the ones in marriages that are like, go spend. Say that's the stereotypical, like, oh man, give your wife your credit card and good luck. You're not that way. I'm very blessed with that. And so sometimes I spend even more than like you would like me to spend. So I'm just, because I'm of the mindset of like, we'll make more. And so that's not always a healthy mindset. I think that there is some truth to that. You don't limit yourself by saying, oh, I don't make enough money. You do take it and grow and say, well, we're just going to go make more. We're going to grow more. We're going to build more. But that's not always an excuse to just go be crazy with spending money either.
Right.
So you do have to have some basis to come home to, and you've been good about that. Just kind of walking us through that. That is one there of the questions. Let's see.
What we got next?
How do you balance the roles and how do you balance the roles of spouse and parenting?
We'll let you know and figure it out.
Yeah, I know. That's literally still figuring that one out.
What do you mean? What does it mean though? The roles of spouses and parenting, like how do we stay separate?
Yeah, like how do
I be your wife and Jack's mom? But
yeah, I cannot wear. I wanted this thing behind there that's like wrecking. It's pulling my ear off. This cord.
Oh.
So if you're watching the video, then cord is out. But this video is on YouTube. So we've been posting a pretty good bit of our podcast on the YouTube now. And
on the YouTube?
That's right, on the YouTube. Growing Green Podcast over there. Go check it out if you want to see the video version of this. And we got a lot of really good clips and full length episodes coming from the LSR Summit. We had an awesome setup over there. So you see this video and you'll be like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
If you're watching, the camera just went crazy. So good luck. This is man, we're so rookie in this. But it's just one day at a time. So figure it out as we go. But spouse and parenting, it has not been easy. Not at all.
No,
it hasn't been all. But I take that back. We haven't really gotten to that point yet because we're not being pulled in a million different directions with kids doing sports and things like that. Like we're not there yet. Yeah. So that's going to put a whole new kink in things. I would say we did pretty decent about like we've still gone and done things like just us.
Or like prioritizing ourselves. Like
the marriage over being parents.
Yeah, no, I think we have, honestly. I think when it will be tested, like you're saying, is when Jack's a little older. We have
a second kid, yeah. There's going to be a lot more of that involved, but I would say the bigger thing there is like how do you just maintain a healthy marriage, like maintain it and grow it. I
mean, you just have to nurture it and prioritize it.
Yeah, and we've gone through so many phases of that, of really doing stuff, not doing stuff. If you've thought about the fact that we're coming up on 4 years.
Yes, I think about it often.
That is wild.
Yeah, I know.
Like that means we're 1 year away from being married for 5 years.
Yeah, we said
that's half a decade.
We were going to do it 5 years.
Go back to Hawaii.
Oh yeah, that.
What are we doing? What else are we doing at 5 years?
Nothing.
What?
I thought we talked about it.
What? Well, we might have, but I forgot.
We'll talk later.
No, you got to say
bad.
it now.
It's nothing bad.
Well, what is it? What is that supposed to mean? Oh, getting a new ring.
No.
Savannah wants a new ring at 5 years.
No, I did not.
We got to come into some new money or something.
Stop. I did not say I wanted it. I said we talked about it.
We did. We talked about getting a new ring when we got to 5 years. So
maybe,
we'll see.
Maybe we could get you a legitimate ring.
Yeah, if you're
I have bouncing between your silicone ones and your Hawaii one.
Yeah, my Hawaii one was the realest one I have, and it was like what, $30, I think. Made like some seashells or something.
Yeah.
Then the rest I just got is like rubber. The one we had on the wedding was like a $6 one. Literally.
Yeah, from Amazon.
Yeah. But I'm not taking a chance on wearing a tungsten or something and getting it cut off while I'm working every day.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is now with my hand, since I got it messed up with the tread trimmers, the feeling in my ring finger is totally like
not good.
It's not good. So when the ring comes off, like I don't even realize it.
Yeah.
These silicone ones will come off, and I'll look down like 2 days later.
Yeah, I know. That's also a pet peeve. We're gonna get into that. There'll be like random spots around the house because we'll get like the pack of them from Amazon. So we'll just lose them and then get another one and then lose it and get another one, and you just leaves them laying around the house on the floor.
It's not I don't feel it. Like I literally can't feel it come off. So it's not my fault. I don't have feeling good enough in that finger, in any of these fingers on this hand. Oh man. So okay, 5 years. That's what we're talking about. We're about to be married for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's wild.
In a year.
Yeah, but we're almost.
We've established that
March, April, May. We're 4 months.
In a year.
We're 4 months away from being a year away from 5 years.
So we're like a year and a half
16
away.
Months. 16 months away.
Yeah.
That's wild. 5 years.
But what's weirder to me is the fact that in May we'll have been together for 7 years.
Yeah, that is wild. What was the date that I asked you?
11th.
That's good. That's good. You did good. You were so scared.
I don't know. I knew it was May 11th, and then for some reason I thought there was like it was a teens, and I was like, no, it's the 11th.
It is the 11th. So
yeah.
That is kind of us in a rundown there. But yeah, we've gone through a lot of ups and downs as far as the prioritizing the marriage side. I mean, just between work and the businesses and your career as a nurse, like we have gone through times where we haven't put us as first as we should have.
Yeah.
Having a conversation this weekend with a guy over there, I think that we really need to focus this this year on a weekly date night. Trying to get that in. We haven't done that. We do. I would say probably like twice a month. We do something on our
least. Yeah, I feel like you're saying we're kind of not great at that. Like we go through spurts of doing like a lot of stuff, like going on date nights or going on weekend trips or going on overnight stuff, to where I feel like it all ends up being back to back to back, and then we go like a couple months like randomly doing a date night or something. I feel like but the reality is that with life and where we're at, like the consistency in that is kind of non-existent. Like it's kind of hard to be consistent about that.
Consistent about the weekly?
Like just the overnights or the weekend trips or the whatever.
Yeah, I guess. I think we can do it weekly though. The guy that I was talking to that does it weekly definitely could have come up with excuses not to.
Yeah.
I think it's just priorities.
Right.
So you don't want to get on that train. 75 hard. Like the crap we did in that, I would have been like, there's no way we can do that.
Yeah.
It's probably what we made the priority. So I think that's something that we'll try to do this year, is try to get a little bit better about going out on date nights at least once a week moving forward. And that will be something that we work with and work through. It's not going to happen overnight. It won't happen overnight. It'll be a process. We'll have to figure out some type of system to put in place to do that. But as we move forward, as we work through life and being married and having more kids, it's just like those are things that if you don't start them now, it's just like in a business. If you don't start the process or a system early on, then it's gonna come back to bite you in the end. Yeah. And we actually have an amazing show coming out in the next week or two probably, and we go into the whole systems and processes conversation a little bit more than what you would think. That I have gotten corrected, I think, and have my view is kind of shifted on implementing systems and processes and the importance of how like focusing too much time on those. And so we're going to uncover a lot of that in an episode to come, probably next week when that show will drop. But it's very, very, very eye-opening, and I don't want you to miss that show, because it's going to be one that you'll be like, whoa, yeah, that's totally right. I need to fix that in my business and make sure that we're focusing on the key things that we need to grow the business. So let's find another question here. Let's see. I just want to find some random ones. This is just a random
maybe
question
one that
list
you can answer.
that I can answer. What do you mean? I answered the second one.
I guess.
What are the biggest lessons? That's the one we did. There's one. What are some fun and creative date nights ideas for couples? We're not good at that.
That I don't know.
How did we meet and fall in love?
And fall in love?
That's
How did we meet? You know, I told some more of my friends today, last weekend that I was homeschooled, and they had no idea. It's such a flex.
Does that make you feel so proud?
When I can tell people I'm homeschooled, and they're like, I had no idea.
Or they're just like, oh, that's why you're so weird.
No, they didn't have any idea that I was.
So continue. Tell them how we met.
We've talked about it on here. We're both homeschooled and played basketball together, and we were friends through the last few years of high school. And when I went off to school for like one semester before I came back and went to a college near where we live, and then we started hanging out more and was like, maybe we're not just friends, and then rest is history.
The rest is history. What is the craziest adventure we've been on?
Physical adventure or
I
like...
I would say physical adventure. What is the I'm trying to think, what is the wildest thing that we've had happen? Like, what's the scariest thing we've had happen together?
When you cut that guy off.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the exact same thing. I've never been scared in my life. That was so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so here's what happened.
You were in high school.
Yeah, we were in high school. I was going to play basketball. And this dude made me so mad. Okay, we were going. It was 2-lane interstate going down the road, and there was an 18-wheeler in front of me. I was in the right lane. He was taking forever. We were probably running late or something. So I whipped over in the left lane to get up in front of him. I never slowed traffic. My pace never slowed. I accelerated, and I did not cut this guy off. I did not slow him down at all.
He was coming.
He was coming up fast, but he did not. But I did not slow him down. Like I didn't. We never touched the brakes. He came up on me so fast. Followed us for probably like literally 2 or 3, 4 miles.
Probably a couple. It felt longer than it was.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 miles.
Yeah.
To get to the exit that we were getting off of.
Let's keep in mind he was the whole time
on my tail.
Yeah, the interstate. He turned his brights on.
Oh yeah.
And he got right up on you the whole couple miles. And that feels like a long time. Anyway, so he gets off
the whole way, and then he got off, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, we're just going to the same place. I guess he'll move on. We get off, and we're stuck at the light, and we're probably 10 cars deep, and then there's people behind us on each sides of us. There's nowhere for us to go. Like we're locked in
stuck.
Here. And this dude gets out of the truck. Walks up to our window.
He slammed his car door shut. He was so mad.
Gets out of the truck, walks up, and I'm in like a little 2002 Honda Accord. That was my first, or it was an Accord. And
oh my gosh.
It was a little 2-door coupe, and he walked up, and he just, there's no words. He made a fist and punched the window harder than I've ever seen anybody punch anything. I don't know how it didn't shatter.
Jeremiah's face. Jeremiah's just sitting there. He was like, I'm not engaging. Like, don't do anything. We're not doing things. So we both just sit there and we just stare straight ahead. Like, no one's moving. No one's talking.
Again, we're like 18 and 20 at this point. Right.
And Jeremiah's just sitting there staring ahead of us, like waiting. We're just praying for the light to turn green so we can just go. And this guy rears back and punches the window like right at Jeremiah's head as hard as he could and screaming. I
think he was Mexican or something. I think he was talking in Spanish.
I don't know what. I didn't care. I never looked at him. I was just really trying not to cry. I was like, we're going to die. Like, this is it. But you were not worried because you were like, there's so many witnesses around. Like, nothing will happen.
Well, yeah, I was. And then afterwards, I was like, well, if he still shoots us,
yeah, exactly.
He'll get caught, but we're still going to be dead.
So he punches the window, screams, cussing, literally losing his mind. And then I guess he realized you weren't going to engage back with him. So he just went and slammed the door, sat in his truck until the light turned green, and we left.
I'm telling you guys, when I say he punched harder than I've ever seen anybody punch anything,
oh, it scared me.
It
so
was
bad.
so loud. I don't know how the window didn't shatter.
I don't know how he didn't break his hand.
Yeah, he definitely broke his hand. He had to. He went to the doctor the next day. If we went back and found records of hospitals, he went to the hospital the next day.
Oh my gosh,
it was so bad. And luckily, we just we took off. He was walking back to his truck, and I think he didn't follow us any further to the place. I think he stayed behind us, like in his path to where he was going. Though I think he was behind us on the next road.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
It was that time was
my
like
heart starts beating just thinking about it.
I'm so glad that we know that. Like we're on the same page with that because that's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, that was intense.
What's the most fun thing that we've ever done? If my GoPro wouldn't have broken, it would have been snorkeling in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Except my GoPro broke. I was so dumb.
Hawaii as a whole was probably the most fun thing.
Yeah, but
one of the things that we've done together and I've had the most fun is the ropes course.
Oh, that, yeah.
In Georgia with my parents. Really only because of them. Like, that was the funniest thing oh my gosh, I haven't laughed that hard.
They'll never listen to this, but
I wish we could play. No one else would ever care about it, but
should I insert the video into the YouTube video?
Yeah, because no one else, we were hyping it up and it wouldn't be funny. Let's just keep it between us.
That is true.
Because you really just probably have to know my parents to know why it was so funny.
It was just, yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh, we were all
If you've never done a ropes course, go to a ropes course tomorrow. Like, if you want a fun date night, go to a ropes course.
Even if you're an adult, it doesn't care. It makes it funnier that you're an adult doing it.
Especially if you're a little overweight. That makes it even more. It makes it funnier.
You can't say stuff like that.
It's true. Because you're going to be hanging on to dear life.
That's what my dad was doing.
That's why I'm telling you, it is not, and it's not easy. Like, it was hard for me.
No, y'all were sweating.
Yeah, like it was hard. And then her mom did it. Her mom does not do stuff like that. And it was so funny. Obviously you're onto a cable and stuff, but it would not be fun if you fell off. Like, you would just be hanging there.
Whoa, yeah.
Like, it would be annoying to get, like, picked back up and get back on.
Yeah.
So, like, you're actively trying, like, do not fall off here.
Yeah.
Like, you're obviously not going to get hurt, but it would just be, like, this sucks.
Yeah,
having to sit there and hang there. Yeah, the ropes course would be pretty, I want to go do that again.
Yeah. What do you think's the most fun?
No, mine would be the snorkeling.
Hawaii. Yeah.
No, not Hawaii. I mean, yeah, Hawaii was cool.
But the
snorkeling was amazing. That was like something out of a movie.
It was.
I mean, it was like the water was so clear. It was like little yellow and blue fish everywhere.
Right.
But I was so dumb. I was like my first year ever having a GoPro. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. I'm gonna video this. And what did I do? I forgot how I put it in a.
It was the water. It got.
Yeah, I think I had like a little yellow floaty handle for it, so if like it fell off, it would float. And I attached it to that, and for some reason I didn't close the side back for some reason. I changed the card or something.
Water got in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Long story short, water got in it, and it was salt water. I mean, it was toast. Like there was no saving it. So all that footage, we had videoed a lot on there.
Oh yeah, it's like all of our Hawaii trip was on.
No, we still have a lot on our phone.
But
I still have a lot of footage that I was looking through
like
that hard drive with.
Okay.
No, we do. There's a lot on there. That I was looking at the other day. But yeah, that was fun. I mean, that is something that like we've determined in our minds, like we're going to spend the money on the trips, because when you get to go out with your family and spend that money and spend that time together, like there's no greater way to spend money. I'm a firm believer that you're creating that memory with your family, that time with your kids. I highly recommend go spend the time, take the trips, spend the money. We've had like a whole show on that before, I think, but there's nothing that you're going to regret more than like missing out on trips like that or seeing new things, because if you just stick around the house, like, yeah, you have a big pot of money sitting in your bank, but like, what are you going to do if you just sit around the house with it? And that's not saying that you need to be financially stupid, but spend money and go on trips. And that was something that we were adamant about coming in.
Yeah. It
was like, we're going to take the trips.
Oh my gosh, another fun day. Do you remember? It was Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, the Hawks.
But that was like a total, like, we never do stuff like that. We just went and we're like, whatever we find that we want to do, we'll do it. And we did all these.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Continue. We did a lot of fun things.
To bring it up. But it was just very like spur of the moment for us, and we ended up getting the courtside seat. Like it was just really fun. It was fun to do.
Yeah, talk about lucky. We were at the Hawks game, and we bought like nosebleed seats, like nosebleed of nosebleed, just to get in the door. And we were up there, and we were like, "Is that who we think it is?" Well, we had moved down. We had moved down and gotten into like that bottom bowl.
Yes,
remember?
Yes.
And then we looked down, and I was like, "We know them," and it was friends. It was some of Savannah's
some of my college friends' parents.
Parents were there, and we texted like, "We're here. See them. Say hey." And then they came up and got us, and
they let us come sit
down there with them. So we were like fun. 3 rows back from that Hawks game, which was amazing. I should have told Cornell about that. He would have freaked out. But I wanted to say we should have gone to a Hawks game this weekend. But anyway, that was fun. I don't know what I'm trying to think. There's a lot of other stuff that we probably.
I know, it makes me sad. It makes me
Big Sky
was
fun.
Just think about it. Yeah.
Texas was fun. That was just us. That was back before we
Vegas
had Jack.
was fun.
Yeah, Vegas was. It was just so hot.
Vegas, I think of that as about one of the first like really fun things, because that was probably the most fun that we've had, just the two of us. You know what I mean?
Well, but we had gone to Universal and Disney.
Yeah, that was exhausting. Yeah, that was fun though. I just mean Vegas was just something different that we'd never done before, and it was just us. And I just feel
it's just
like
out west. I love going out west.
I don't know. There's two different thoughts I'm having right now. One is that before you have kids and you do all this stuff, you're so much more carefree, so you really enjoy it. But once you have kids and then you leave your kids to do a trip like that, I feel like you really are able to appreciate it and soak it in, but you can't necessarily be super carefree because, we talk about this all the time, how like
you're always thinking about your kid.
Well, yes, but like we will never, ever, 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 ever be able to go somewhere again and someone not know where we are. Like, if you have a kid, have you ever thought about that? Like, your kid will be with you, or someone will have your kid and they'll know where you are. So you'll
until they're old. I mean, you could do it once you're old.
I mean, yeah, but like that's so far away. So like for the foreseeable future, we can never just like go off the grid.
No,
and just
you could just let them know ahead of time.
Yeah, with your kid. No, but like no. That is the most irresponsible thing you could ever say. If you have a kid, you can't not tell who's keeping them where they are. If you prep
them beforehand, like, hey, we're going away for a week. Like, here's all their medical info. If you got to take them, take them.
Oh my God! But could you do that?
Yeah, mentally.
Could
you let yourself?
Do that? Probably not. No, absolutely not. So it was like we didn't even really appreciate that before we had Jack. Like, I mean, it's fun, and we had fun doing our stuff.
Well, we had 2 dogs then, so still nobody knew where we were.
Yeah, you're right.
The thought of people.
You can take them to the vet though.
Yeah, I guess that is true, but we didn't do that. I guess. Yeah, if you're not married, or if you're married or you're dating, whatever, if you don't have kids or pets and you can just run away for a day or 2 and just go get away, like go do your own thing and don't tell anybody where you're going. Come back. That's kind of irresponsible though. Like
why?
If you just go missing,
freak cares.
If you just go missing, like if you get killed and no one else knows.
What are you talking about going missing?
Like
I just mean like
if you go to Vegas and you die. Nobody else knows where you are.
Okay, this is taking a whole other thing. Like, we share our location with people.
Yeah.
I just mean we can't do that type of stuff without adequately preparing for it.
Yeah. You can't just get in the car and go anymore.
Exactly. Like, you got to plan, and you got to make sure you have childcare. If you don't get childcare, the kid's coming with you. You got to pack for the kid. You got to make sure that where you're going is kid-friendly accommodation. Like,
yeah, we already talked about like flying without a kid. Like,
oh yes, I'm flying without a kid in April. And I cannot wait. I think about it often.
I'm flying this week. You just don't know.
That's funny. The way I'm going to be able to just sit there with my book in Starbucks. And I don't know. And veg. Yep. Can't wait. It's my favorite thing to do.
That's good. We're going big places.
Yeah, my favorite thing to do.
We're going big places over here. Yeah.
No, it's not.
It is. That was the most genuine thing I've ever heard in my life. It's my favorite thing to do.
No, it's not my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite thing to do when I can guilt-free do it.
I guess.
Like after you've been very productive, you have a lot of things done, and you've cleaned or you worked, like when you've done all of your things, and being able to just crawl into bed and clean sheets and pajamas at the end of the day or the night with a snack and your show or your book or whatever, and just enjoy that, there's no better feeling, I'm convinced.
That is good.
Should we do one more question?
What, do you have a question?
No.
I don't have a question. I got to go in a minute. We got a hard stop coming up here.
Well, that's too bad.
Debunk common myths about marriage and relationships. What is something that people say about marriage that we have found to not be true?
You're going to have to go first on that one.
Oh, I don't know.
I've gone first on all of
them. Radio silence. See, we should prep for these.
Yeah.
That a myth about marriage that people say is true that we've found to not be true.
Should I just Google like myths about marriage and then we can see if they're true or not?
Yeah, that's probably better. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to think. If you're out there and you know a myth about marriage and you don't believe it's true, then reach out and let me know. But I would say having a, I mean, obviously, probably money comes into a lot. Like, you don't have to.
Oh, wait, these are the stupidest things ever. Surely these are not. People don't actually say this stuff. Healthy marriages are conflict free.
Conflict free? I've never heard anybody say that.
Good, healthy marriage comes naturally when you marry the right person. Marriage is, we've already talked about it, but that marriage is 50-50. That is not true.
Yeah, that is true. That's
true.
That's good. Yeah, I'm saying it's true that it's true that it's not true. Marriage is
happy couples do everything together. No.
What did we say? So marriage is 100-100?
It's 100-100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you're at 70,
you got to be
I got to be at 30. Right?
You don't have to be at 30. We could both be at 70. That'd be great. It's more like when I'm 30, like you got to pick up my.
When you're 30, I got to be at 170.
Sure.
I got to pick up your.
We're not
I got to
doing
pick
this.
up your.
We
life.
talked about that though.
Yeah, that was our whole talk at trades. That was good though. That was good. So marriage is not 50-50.
Your children should come first. Yeah, no.
Share funny or heartwarming stories submitted by the audience. If you have any funny or heartwarming stories about your family or your spouse or trips together, shoot me an email or a DM and we'll share those on the show.
Laughing at other people's experiences.
Laughing at them or laughing with
them? With them.
Yeah, that's right. That would actually be something pretty cool to do.
I love telling funny stories like that and hearing other people's. Like,
like if we could just read a story and get to it and have a genuine reaction, not know what the what the punchline was going to be. Like if I was sitting there reading the story, driving down the interstate, cut we swerve over, cut this guy off.
Yeah.
You get to a red light, and then he punches I would die reading that out loud.
You could be a storyteller.
I could be a storyteller professionally.
Could you? I've heard 100%. You read books of Jack. I don't know.
All right. Well, never reading Jack again.
I'm just saying.
Try something new and share your results and thoughts. What's something new that we could try this week? There's so what? Why are you looking like that? There's a lot of new things to try in the world. Samantha's over here, got her head in a gutter. My goodness. Get out. If anybody's listening to this, no one's listening at this point anyway. So let's just move on with life. Good night.
We could try a new recipe for dinner.
New recipe for dinner. Should we start should we be
I'm gonna cry.
Should we be every day? Do people do that? Do people vlog their life cooking dinner and stuff?
Yes, people do that.
I don't watch that, so I've never consumed that in my life.
Yes, that is a niche.
Well, we're not going to be that niche. Try something new. We're trying something new by doing the video, so.
We could have tried something new by going to a basketball game together.
I literally asked you if you wanted to go. We're not starting that. I said, do you want to go with us?
Oh.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's right. So
we're not even going to.
We're going to end the show right there while I'm on top. So thank you for tuning into the episode today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
That's not what happened.
That is what happened. We're not going to continue either. So thanks for tuning into the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It means the world that you listen to us each and every week here 3 times a week on the show. I'm excited, pumped up today.
Are you?
I got to have a hard step though. For real, I got to go. We really, truly do appreciate it. Stay tuned for a lot of good content coming. We went from 0 to 100 and 100 to 0 real quick. So we'll be back here with you on Wednesday and Friday. Got a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe for you. It's going to be a fun year, fun season ahead. A lot of good stuff that we're going to try to start doing here on the show. So if you enjoyed the video, then let us know, and we'll try to do some more of it. But without any further ado, that's going to wrap this one up, guys, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next one.